Welcome to World Prism. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. For years, China was seen as a giant on the brink, its economic miracle fading, its property market collapsing, and its once unshakable confidence beginning to erode. Headlines around the world painted a picture of a nation in trouble, with ghost cities rising from the ground and millions of apartments left unsold. The optimism that had defined China's rapid ascent seemed to be evaporating, replaced by anxiety and uncertainty about the future. Ordinary people felt the pressure. Families worried about their savings, young couples hesitated to buy homes, and shopkeepers watched as foot traffic dwindled. The sense of opportunity that once filled the air was replaced by a quiet unease, as if the country was holding its breath, waiting for the next blow. The state-led model that once fueled its rise now seemed to be its greatest weakness, with over-reliance on exports and infrastructure, and a lack of domestic consumption. Massive infrastructure projects, once symbols of progress, now stood as reminders of overcapacity. Shopping malls, once bustling, saw fewer visitors, and exports faced headwinds from a changing global economy. In technology, China was viewed as a manufacturer, not an innovator, expected to churn out solar panels, but not invent the next breakthrough. The world saw China as the factory floor, not the laboratory, doubting its ability to lead in cutting-edge research or set new global standards. Western analysts predicted stagnation, convinced China had peaked. Reports and forecasts echoed the same message. The era of double-digit growth was over, and the country's best days were behind it. But as 2025 ends, that narrative is being upended. The world is witnessing a shift that few anticipated, as new headlines tell a very different story. China has announced scientific breakthroughs in solar energy and electric vehicle batteries, leaps that solve problems the world thought unsolvable. These advances are not just incremental, they represent a fundamental change in what's possible, with ripple effects across industries worldwide. At the same time, Beijing is considering a bold economic plan to finally ignite domestic consumption. New policies aim to put more money in the hands of ordinary citizens, encouraging spending and entrepreneurship, and shifting the economy toward a more sustainable, consumer-driven model. While the world focused on China's struggles, its scientists and policymakers were quietly preparing for a dramatic leap forward. Behind closed doors, teams worked tirelessly, determined to prove the doubters wrong and chart a new course for the nation. The result, a strategic surprise that forces the world to rethink China's future and its place in the global order. Suddenly, global leaders and investors are scrambling to understand what comes next, as China reasserts itself on the world stage. The giant wasn't falling, it was preparing to leap. And now, as the world watches, China's next move could reshape the global landscape for years to come. For years, China's solar dominance was built on sheer scale, not necessarily on cutting-edge innovation, until now. The country's sprawling solar farms, stretching across deserts and rooftops, have long been a symbol of its commitment to renewable energy, but a quiet revolution was brewing in the labs. The next leap in solar technology came with perovskite solar cells. These remarkable materials promised much higher efficiency than traditional silicon panels, capturing more sunlight and converting it into electricity. Yet, despite their promise, perovskites were plagued by a fatal flaw: instability. For years, researchers around the world struggled to overcome the fragile whole transport layer, a critical component that would quickly degrade, causing the cells to lose efficiency and fail long before they could be commercially viable. Everything changed in 2025, when a team of Chinese researchers unveiled a revolutionary self-assembled molecular material. This breakthrough not only stabilized the perovskite cells, but also pushed their efficiency to new heights, making them both durable and highly effective. The new material doubled the rate of energy transport within the cell, eliminating the main obstacle that had held back commercialization. Suddenly, perovskite solar cells were not just a laboratory curiosity, they were ready for the real world. Independent certification from the U.S. National Renewable Energy Laboratory soon followed, confirming the remarkable achievement and validating the technology on a global stage. Now solar panels can be printed like newspapers, rolled out onto rooftops, vehicles, and even woven into clothing. The flexibility and lightness of these new panels means solar energy can be integrated almost anywhere, transforming how we think about power generation. China hasn't just improved solar technology, It has unlocked the potential for true energy abundance, making clean power accessible in both urban skyscrapers and remote villages. With this leap, China is positioned as the undisputed leader in solar technology, setting the pace for the world's energy transition for decades to come. The world's energy future has shifted, almost overnight. The transition to solar is no longer a distant dream, but an unfolding reality. And, at the center of this transformation, holding the keys to tomorrow's energy, stands China. As China revolutionized solar, it also tackled the next frontier battery technology. Solid-state batteries, the holy grail for electric vehicles, promise safety and range but were plagued by brittle internal layers and dangerous lithium dendrites. In late 2000 Chinese scientists engineered a flexible, inorganic-rich SEI layer that prevents cracks and stops dendrite growth. The result: batteries that last thousands of hours, even in extreme cold, with rapid charging and unprecedented safety. Electric vehicles with 1,000-kilometer range and 10-minute charging are now within reach. This isn't a distant dream, it's a reality, and China leads the way. The global EV landscape has shifted. China's breakthrough sets a new standard for the world. The future of mobility is being powered from Beijing. While labs delivered breakthroughs, China's economy faced a crisis: weak demand, deflation, and a collapsing property market. Real estate, once the engine of wealth, imploded, wiping out growth and eroding household savings. Consumer confidence vanished, replaced by a culture of saving and economic anxiety. The result: a vicious cycle of low spending, falling profits, and rising unemployment. Beijing's old playbook, more infrastructure, more state investment, failed to revive demand. The real problem wasn't supply, but a deep lack of consumer confidence. This exposed a structural flaw. China's model favored production over household income. Western analysts declared China stuck in a middle-income trap, destined for stagnation. The government's inability to break the cycle fueled global skepticism. China's economic miracle seemed over, until now. In late 2025, Beijing considered radical new policies to break the economic deadlock. The headline proposal: a universal one-off consumption voucher, 3,000 yuan for every citizen, funded by special sovereign bonds. This direct stimulus could inject trillions into the economy, boosting spending and growth almost overnight. The second move: a national real estate support company to finish abandoned housing projects and convert excess inventory into affordable homes. By intervening at scale, the government aims to restore confidence and stabilize the property market. These bold steps could finally resolve China's consumption conundrum and reset its economic trajectory. The world is watching to see if China can pull it off. China's breakthroughs in solar and batteries are more than industrial wins. They're geopolitical game changers. By making old technologies obsolete, China positions itself as the world's essential energy tech supplier. This new leverage could shift global influence from oil states and Western tech firms to Beijing. If China's economic stimulus succeeds, it will shatter the myth of irreversible decline and reaffirm its role as a global growth engine. Meanwhile, the US risks falling behind. Focused on old energy paradigms and struggling to scale new tech, the world's green transition may soon depend on Chinese innovation. The balance of power is shifting, fast. The next era of energy and economics may be written in Beijing. China's technological and economic pivots reveal a nation more resilient, adaptive, and strategic than the world expected. Over the past decade, China has transformed its economy, investing heavily in research, innovation, and infrastructure, while nurturing a new generation of scientists and entrepreneurs. While the West watched for collapse, China quietly reinvented itself, turning challenges into opportunities. Its cities have become hubs of innovation, and its industries now set global standards in manufacturing and technology. The US and its allies underestimated the power of a focused, state-driven system to solve its deepest problems, from poverty reduction to technological self-sufficiency. China's leadership has shown remarkable foresight in steering the nation through turbulent times. The West saw symptoms. China engineered a cure. Through coordinated policy and relentless innovation, China tackled issues that once seemed insurmountable, from public health crises to energy shortages. Now China leads in game-changing technologies, artificial intelligence, green energy, and advanced manufacturing, and is poised to resolve its economic challenges with bold, forward-thinking solutions. This isn't just about competition, it's about who sets the rules for the 21st century global economy. The choices made today will shape the world's future alliances, trade, and technological standards. The US must recognize it's in a race it could lose, demanding renewed investment in science, education, and industry. Only by embracing innovation and collaboration can it hope to keep pace. The events of 2022 ninandabor fan and 25 and scene, Saibidur desergar. Wake up call. China is not just catching up, it's taking the lead, setting new benchmarks for progress and ambition that the rest of the world must now strive to match. The world must adapt, and quickly. Nations everywhere are rethinking their strategies, alliances, and investments in response to China's rapid ascent. The Chinese century may have just begun, ushering in a new era of global influence, innovation, and competition that will define the decades ahead.